What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're looking at preview. Six Nations is back after 2 weeks where we last saw the cracking weekends of drama, of excitement and intensity. Now we're back. It is big weekend to look forward to. England, France, probably one of the big ones of the weekend. I mean, a lot on the line. England wanting to redeem themselves from what happened against Wales. We're talking about the cards, all of that drama. It's in the past now. Now we got to focus on the future. What lies ahead? How can England come back from the losses? How can England come back from the mistakes that they also made? Discipline. Discipline was one of the key topics this past weekend, or those past weekends when they took on Wales. You know, we can complain and talk about all what happened, the cards, the situations of all these games, but at the end of the day, discipline cost them. They gave away too many penalties, allowed Wales to convert. Wales capitalised on opportunities. I mean, Maritoja needs to be on point. He was scheduled to be probably a Lions captain, but after the discipline, a lot of people are saying he shouldn't get it. So there's big things on the line for England this weekend. Now, just as much on the line for England, France currently undefeated. They had a tough one. Their game got postponed because they broke protocol and contracted the COVID virus. It wasn't good. Players, 16 members of the French whole team got caught COVID-19. Therefore, France versus Scotland got postponed. I think it's on the 26th of March. Also, a lot of drama about that one. At the start of that, everyone was saying, oh, it's not fair, France plays with the B team. Then we find out that France broke protocol, got out the bubble, and the guys caught the virus. Then everyone's saying, jeepers, this is actually unfair on Scotland now, because now Scotland have to wait. And Scotland faced possible opportunities at one stage where their star players couldn't play in a big contest like France versus them. There's a lot on the line for France. As I said, undefeated. What could happen? I mean, they got an opportunity to win the Six Nations title for the first time in over 11 years. That's a hell of a long time. It's a drought they are going to want to take away. They're going to want to rewrite history and say, boys, this is the time. This is our moment. This is where our future lies. Growing, developing, increasing opportunity for our team, for our coach. There's a lot. This game is going to be a very passionate one because both teams have a lot to prove. France have played great rugby this year. So far, deserving to win the Six Nations title if they can get it. But that will come down to the big one against Wales because Wales are currently undefeated. Wales are playing Italy this weekend. Predictable win there. Wales could have the opportunity to score big points to make the points margin even closer, which will take France or make it even more pressure for France as they still have Scotland. And let's not forget, Scotland are angry. They're going to want to really take this game on seriously. So it's a lot on the line for these two teams this weekend. Eddie Jones, Owen Farrell, big media talk the past month. Should they stay? Should they go? Farrell, should he be captain? Should he be dropped? His form's been poor. How is he going to come back? How is he going to bounce back? How is he going to show the England faithful crowd that he's still worthy of a position? As a foreigner, I still think you got to go with him. Maybe drop him or put him to a bench just to give him a little bit of a fright so then he bounces back and plays great rugby. He's a talented player and I'd hate for him to miss an opportunity in any big game like this one this weekend. There's such a great rivalry between England and France. There's history. There's phenomenal games we've seen. We've seen predictable ones, but we've also seen close ones. And the last time these two teams met, on the 2nd of February in Six Nations game, by the way, in 2020, it was a 24-17 victory for France. Then we go to the Autumn Nations final where we saw England win last minute of second half of extra time. So there's intensity between these two games, these two teams. Phenomenal rivalry, phenomenal history. But the one thing, if any of these players want to win, any of these teams want to go forward, discipline. Got to be there, or it's going to cost you. England's last 3 Six Nations contest games have been a 40-24 victory, Wales versus England. We won't get too much into that because that we all know what happened. England beat Italy 41 points to 18. Let's not forget a strong first half from Italy, but England showing the strength at the end. And then the big one, the first game, 6th of February, Scotland beating England, outplaying them, skilling them. So England's 2 losses in this year's Six Nations so far, the last 3 outings. They're going to want to do something different. They're going to want to show the public that we are worth it. Now's the time, boys. France's last games, obviously Scotland versus France was postponed, so we'll see that on the 26th of March. Then they took on Ireland. They just beat Ireland 15-13, phenomenal game. And then they whooped Italy 50-10 points. So France looking good, but France need to get past England. It's a big game for both these teams. If we look at point scoring so far in this whole tournament, England have scored a total of 71 points, France a total of 65. Interesting, but obviously England's got a game in hand. 8 tries to 9 to France, conversions 5 to 7 to France, missed conversions 3 to 2 to England, penalties 7 to 2 to England. This is already too high. Missed penalties 1. Sorry, these are kicks. So this is all points. If we look at carries, 299 to 191, 299 to England. Line break 16 to 15 to England. Offloads 10 to 21 to France. Total passes 414 to 214 to France. Knock on 6 to 7 to France. Turnovers 1, 8 to 8. Yellow cards 1 apiece to both teams. Attempted tackles 438 to England, 381 to France. Tackles made 385, 338 to France. 385 to England, sorry. Scrums 13 to 11 to England, 24 to 27 lineouts to France. Lineouts stolen 2 apiece. Interesting, quite close considering France still have a game to play. But it just goes to show the season France is having. There's moments where they're ahead. There's also moments where they're behind. Now it brings us to do the prediction. It's a tough one. You got France, a lot on the line. A lot to take in. You know, the COVID story would have shaken them. You got England. Need to bounce back. Need to show the public that they can do it. It's a tough one to predict, but I'm going to go for a shock. You'd think France all the way, but I just feel England have. Obviously, France have to win, don't get me wrong. And I love the French. I think they're playing phenomenal, great form. But you're playing at Twickenham. I just, at this stage, see England taking it. It's going to be a low point scoring game. I'm going to go 5 points less. But I just see England taking this one. There's so much negativity in the England camp, especially in the media, that England need this victory. So I'm going England to win by less than 5 points. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.